If you live in Colorado, you're one of the luckiest people in the world as far as gold prospecting goes. And if you live in Denver or the surrounding area around Denver, you're even luckier because you can go out 15 minutes later, you're out prospecting, you're having a good time, you're finding gold. Okay, so we're going to leave this beautiful setting in Evergreen, Colorado, and we're going to head up to Clear Creek, and we're going to meet Don Finley, a friend of mine who owns GoldStrike Adventures, even a couple of guests that he's bringing along. We're going to bring along Wile E. Coyote from my shop, myself, his son Ryan, and Leo the dog I think is going to be there. And we're going to try out some new equipment. The new Golden Sand hand pump, the Pro Series, we're going to have that with us. We're going to have the Gold Cube with the Gold Banker attachment on it. And we're going to go find some gold, hopefully, in some areas that a lot of people haven't gotten to before, simply because in the wintertime, the creeks are lower and it's easier to get in there and get the gold. Let's go see what happens. I'll bet you we find some gold, and I guarantee you we're going to have loads of fun. So let's go check it out. So let's go this way. All right, here's a good spot. This is amazing because we're here on Clear Creek, the middle of January 2014. In 2013, we had this huge flood that came through here. One of the biggest floods they've seen in history, probably. And it totally changed the landscape. When that flood roared through here, it just literally changed everything here. Now it's a little bit difficult to tell right now because there's so much ice, but it left us with a little beach down here. It cut away a whole bunch of this area right here. A lot of this is taken out, and I can see already right down here, if you look at, we get right down here, there's a whole pile of black sand right here. Horse tooth, hot sauce, wake up call, Bloody Mary mix, celery salt, of course. One thing I forgot to bring was the Worcestershire sauce. Damn it. But then you have all of these condiments that go with it. And then, of course, some Louisiana hot sauce. And what Bloody Mary bar is not complete without some anchovy paste. Squeeze a lime. And a shrimp. I'm going to give this one to the cameraman. Let's see how he reacts. I bet that whole camera starts shaking like crazy.
What do you think, Scott?
The Bloody Mary bar is a top secret piece of equipment that you have to come out on one of the adventures to experience that.
I understand that the Bloody Mary bar soon will have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth.
I think that's correct. And I think it also has laser technology, if I'm not mistaken.
Right? Oh. It's middle of January 2014, and we're using a gold cube here with the gold banker on it. We've got golden sand hand pumps here. I got Don Finley here from GoldStrike Adventures. Wiley's here, and he's representing the Goldmen, the feature movie that's out right now, and he's one of the main stars of it. So he came with us today, so it's nice to have a celebrity with us. And over here we have some guests. We have Ryan from GoldStrike. He's got the green shirt on, and Henry and Tarsi are our guests today, and they came out to help us gold prospect for gold.
Every time we come out on an adventure, it's to a new location, and that we have to help discover gold with our customers. So we come out, we teach you about the geology of gold, the history of the area that we're in. We teach them all about how gold behaves in the river and why it exists in the river, and how to find it, how to locate it in the stream, how to read the river, how to read the stream for gold. Set up a piece of equipment like the gold cube over here, or the sluice box, or golden sand, all the way up to a dredge, suction dredge. We'll let you run that piece of equipment for a half a day or a full day. At the end of the day, we help you separate your gold out, and you go home with the gold at the end of the day.
The big advantage prospecting in the wintertime is that, look, we're standing right in the middle of where the water was at one time. Here's the high water mark clear over here. So we're out into the creek,
Chest deep water,
and none of us are getting wet yet. I'm going to attempt to get into a wetsuit, one that I bought about 10 years ago. I was a little skinnier then. So I'm going to try to get into a wetsuit and get out into this freezing cold water with a golden sand hand pump. And we'll see what happens. I'm thinking what's going to happen is my are going to come right up into my throat.
Major shrinkage.
Yeah.
Major shrinkage.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is our new Extreme Hybrid Pro. It's got this new valve on it. We just got approved on the patent on this valve. I'll show you what's different. This valve has 4 screws on it, right here, and there's a flapper in here. The only time one of these valves wears out, that's the only thing that wears out in a valve, is that rubber flapper that's in there. This pump is totally submersible. You can dive with this. But when you're diving and you're underwater, of course you could be on your back, your side, you're all over the place. So you need to be able to adjust this flapper valve so it's in the 12 o'clock position. That's what this white dot is for on the top. The white dot tells you that no matter where this white dot is, as long as that white dot's in the 12 o'clock position, your flapper is always optimized to work correctly. So I'm going to set it to about right there because I'm not going underwater, especially in this. There's our leather cups. Here's some holes in the handle. What happens is, when you're underwater, this whole chamber fills up with water, right? When you're pulling back on it, the water goes through the holes and exits out the handle. So when you're pulling back on it, let me get this set here. So when you're pulling back on it, now the water shoots out the handle, relieving the pressure inside so you can continue to easily pull the handle back and forth. All right, let's go try it out. So I have a brand new pump here, and in our instructions we say to soak these leather cups. I didn't do that overnight, so what I'm doing here is a shortcut. I'm just getting them wet, and I'm taking my fingers and I'm actually pushing them out. I'm forcing them to go out and absorb water. I found a spot here where there's a lot of loose black sand rolling around, and it's gotten in behind this rock. This rock is at an angle. It's kind of like one of those Hungarian riffles. It's pulled stuff back into it. I'm going to try to get that stuff out of there. This is great because in the middle of the winter, this is the only time I'd ever be able to get out here under this rock. I'd never have an opportunity any other time. So this is great. The sun is starting to go down a little bit. Actually, it's probably only about maybe 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but since we're in this cavern, this cavernous area here, you know, the sun will lose some of the sun, so we won't be able to do this for very long from now on. But I wanted to get in here and maybe we can get some gold out of here and show you that. So there's an area right here where there's some black sand, and we all know that if there's some black sand, there ought to be a little bit of gold there with it. Let's hope anyway. So during the big flood of 2013, it washed a lot of gold down here into this river. And again, like I say, in the winter time is the best time to get in there. I would never be able to get into this spot during the spring or summer. It'd just be too full of water. So when this water level's really low, it gives me an opportunity to get in here with a hand pump, you know, and something light. Yet it's a suction device, so it's going to pull the material up from underneath this one rock. Now this one rock in particular is working like a Hungarian riffle, and you can see the water rushing back like this. I can just imagine as there was a lot of water running through here, this probably collected quite a bit of material underneath it. So I'm going to get under there with the hand pump, and I'm just going to start getting that black sand that's tucked in underneath there. Now you can see some of the lighter material coming out the top here. We don't worry about that. If it's heavy enough, it'll sink to the bottom and the gold won't come out. But if you do start to see black sand coming out at the top of this hole, that's the time to stop and clean up. Alright, I'm starting to see some black sand coming out the top of my bucket. So it's time to stop, empty this bucket into the gold cube or pan it out or something, see if we have any gold. Let's go do that next. All right, I'm out of the wetsuit. I'm ready to clean up that 2-gallon bucket and see what's in it. If there's any gold at all, I have no clue. Let's go find out. Yeah, a fair amount of sand in there. See, it's kind of pre-classified for us. Agitate it really good. Get some of these bigger rocks out of here. Yeah, I see a tiny little speck. Not very much. Okay, so we're down to the very last of the concentrates that are in the bucket. That's where I expect to find some gold. We'll see what happens here. Let it roll off easy. I'm starting to see a little bit of black sand in here. Oh yeah. I'm even starting to see a little bit of gold in here. I'm going to stop right about there. All right. See what we have here now. Oh yeah. Tap that up there. That was all at the very bottom of the bucket. I didn't find anything like the first couple scoops that I pulled out of there. Everything was at the bottom. But that's some nice gold. That's some nice flaky stuff. Some of it looks pretty chunky too. Beautiful. Hope you can see that pretty well. We're starting to lose our sunlight here, but that's glittering beautifully. Look at that piece right there. Man, that is some nice looking stuff. So I'd say we have maybe, a quarter of a gram or something there. Just getting out under that one rock. So yeah, man, that's pretty darn impressive to find something like that. I'm telling you, this is when you're going to find the best gold, is the wintertime. I guarantee it. Okay, Wiley's finished running the material through the punch plate. Underneath the punch plate, on the gold banker, you're going to see 3 channels here. These are drop riffles. Any gold that comes down this slick plate here has to get past these 3 drop riffles. Once it gets past these 3 drop riffles, then it's going to make its way through the cube. This is our first line of, let's say, our first line of attack on these pieces of gold, because we can catch the larger pieces in here. Smaller pieces that make it out of there will make it into the cube, and we'll catch it there too. But let's take this off. We'll just pull this off and we'll run it over here, and I'm going to put it in this tub. I'm going to clean it out right here. You want to reverse those? Put the hot on the negative and the negative on the hot. What we're doing is reversing the battery so we get less pump action, and it won't be, shouldn't spray so hard here. All right, let's see. Let's see that. Where's that pan at? Right behind you there. I'm going to take this right here. Let's just, for kicks, let's just see what we had in there. There's our black sand. I'm already seeing a little bit of gold in there. Let's roll it back. And there's our gold. Now look at that. That's quite a bit of gold just in the top part there. All right, let's keep going. All you have in there is the heaviest of the heavies and some residual sand that still stayed in there. I'm just rolling off, see that top layer there? Rolling off that top layer. I'm doing what I call resetting, allowing the blondes to come to the top again. You see all the blondes again on the top? Do a slight roll, roll those off. Now we're down to black sand, you think, right? Not really. Let's reset again, and you'll see more blondes on the top. We'll do a roll, roll those off. That helps us get down to just nothing but black sand. So I'm going to leave it right at that. I'm not going any further with it. Let's see what we have here. More gold. Look at that. Oh my gosh, there's some big pieces in here. I'm kind of cold, it's starting to get chilly, so what we can do is we can either pack this up and we can turn it over to our geologist over here, and he could probably get it out quicker than I can. That gold cube caught some big flakes, and I'm still tapping out. I'm still tapping gold up there to the top. It's quite incredible. You know, I've been here many times before, and in fact, what's the name of this place? Oh, okay, yeah, it's called Red's Gulch. But I've been here a lot of times. The best time that I've found gold here is like right now in the winter time, when you can get out here and get out like flat smack out into the middle of this thing and start getting in places where no man's gone before. It's like Star Trek, man. We're going where nobody's gone before, and I did it with a little hand pump. Now imagine if you had a dredge out here or something, you'd clean up. But I think we did pretty well today. Had a lot of fun. Had some nice Bloody Marys. Took a couple newbies on an adventure, which that happens all the time here in Colorado. It's wonderful. GoldStrike Adventures. I'm Red. I'm with Gold Cube and I'm with Golden Sand. I actually own both companies. Mike Pong, you probably know who he is. He's my partner in Gold Cube. So we have the Gold Cube out here. We've got the new unit on the top, which we call the Gold Banker. Got our brand new pump out here today. Our Golden Sand Pro Series. And we're about ready. I think we're about ready to go home with all this gold. Thank you so much, everybody. We had a great time. Hope you did too. So long.
Sure did.
Was it your first time gold mining? You're experienced at that, huh? How many times have you taken her out?
It's probably the 4th or the 5th.
Nice. Let's see that gold. Oh yeah.